Welcome to the Boat Show Network. I'm Carrie Wabo. We are here live from Miami, Florida, aboard the brand new Regulator 37. Now, we're going to take a tour of this boat and go behind the scenes. But before we do that, let's see how she moves. Regulator know that it is all about the ride, and I was actually on that boat in the video that you just saw. We ran from Miami down to Key Largo through a little bit of weather, quite a bit of chop, and it was the most comfortable ride. I had a total blast. But that's enough about the ride. Let's talk about the bones of this boat. We have Senior Director of Engineering at Regulator, David Clubbs, with us today to take us behind the build. How you doing, David?
Hey, Karen, it's good. Good to see you. How's my boat doing down there?
Yeah, your boat. It's my boat now. You're out. You're out. You handed it off. It's totally my boat. I love it. This is, I mean, it's a beast offshore, but it is comfortable, really comfortable and very yacht-like. But let's start with the heritage, right? Let's start with the fishing features. Talk to me about all of the fishing that we have going on here and every feature that an angler loves.
Right, Karen. So you're looking at the mezzanine. There's rod holders going up the side of the tower legs, the T-top frames. We got cup holder rod holders in the mezzanine. If you turn around in the cockpit, you got about 240 gallons of fish box space. You've got two in-deck boxes, about 80 gallons each. Those are insulated, macerated, of course, well lit. You still get the transom fish box. It's also another 80 gallons, and then two 33-gallon live wells. Of course, your raw water washdowns are back there. Those boxes can be refrigerated, too, to hold ice longer if you're going a long ways offshore. More rod holders, more washdowns. All the good fishing stuff that you need. A lot of space in that cockpit.
And I love these transom rod holders. This is new. This is something that people are asking for, right? And we've got, this boat has actually more rod holders per foot than any boat in the Regulator fleet.
That's right. Yeah, we squeeze them in there, even still keeping all the volume in the fish boxes and live wells there in the transom. So got them in there. You're looking at optional cup holder rod holders if you want those, all through the combing boards.
Cool. I want to get in on this, David, now that you're talking about it. I mean, people know what this is. You've seen these on boats before, but I love the way this is integrated. So we've got it as a cup holder and a rod holder. And while we're at one of my favorite features, this is the Aft Bench Seat. You can see it has air conditioning vents on the side. I mean, I kicked back and took a nap on this when we were running offshore. And the best part about it is that underneath we have Regulator's first ever pump room. David, tell us what's going on under here.
Yeah, so Carrie, we tried to get as much stuff in this boat as we could, and we didn't want it to be in the normal daily life use of the boat, but we also wanted great service and easy to maintain. So you're seeing a Seakeeper 5 gyro in there, some breakers for the Helm system. There's that air conditioner, 12,000 BTU of air conditioning for the outside only. So it keeps you cool. You got access to the grill and the fridge serviceability. And then all the other pumps and the refrigeration compressors are in here too. So great service, great access, and it's going to be much drier than anywhere else in the build of the boat, say if you put that stuff in the aft end. So function built, good service, all your stuff the fuel tank.
Oh, sorry, Clubs. I was on a delay with you, but I just want to point out, this is the Seakeeper 5, but you can also get this boat Seakeeper 5 ready. What's that about?
Right. So if you don't want to put the Seakeeper in now, but you want the option later for resale value, that Seakeeper will come out of there or go back in for later installation. And of course, if you don't have it, imagine the storage capacity you have on that area. So really multi-purpose spot, dry area, good machine room.
I love it. It's a totally beautiful boat. And we're going to move off of the bilge access here so that we can show that off. This is something, it's a little loud down there. The generator's down there. It's something that our Regulator owners and fans are used to seeing, but there's a lot of space down there.
Yeah, Carrie, there is. That noise you hear is a 13.5 kilowatt Onan diesel generator running. And what you're looking at is a flat deck. So you're actually standing above the bilge. So everything down there is going to be dry. If you want to put a toolbox down there, scuba tanks, it's kind of make it what you want it to be, an area that's more multi-purpose than just service. Of course, there's great service, all through holes and raw water pumps and stuff too, but another useful area in the boat.
I love it. And of course, we have the transom flip down seat. But we're going to go around to one of my other favorite features, which is the port side grill. It's the pull-out grill. And I love this. We actually had some shrimp skewers. We wanted to test it out. We needed to know how it rolled. So we made some shrimp skewers on this. It has these really nice, it has locking mechanisms there, but then you can just pump them and push it right in. And we have a little fridge up here as well. And then, David, tell us what's on the starboard side.
So that's the optional equipment there. The starboard side is going to have your standard tackle. So about 4 different drawers, 7 different plano trays. And that's going to be repeated on the port side standard, of course, with some other enhancements and more features too. So we flushed all that in so it's not sticking proud. If you notice, the door is flush with the side of the tackle center mezzanine area. Just gives a cleaner look, more smooth, act on everything. So again, pack as much stuff as we can in this boat for multi-purpose, primarily fishing platform.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I have to say, once I was here, the only thing that makes this a fishing platform is how solid and amazing all of the electronics are. Otherwise, I feel like I'm at a yacht helm. I mean, I really, really do feel that this is like one of the biggest helms I've ever seen from Regulator. And you really did some special things up here. Let's talk about the My Helm, the new Regulator My Helm.
Yeah, Carrie. So like we've been talking, we put so much into this boat, so many features, so many useful things that had we controlled this the old way, we'd end up with a myriad of push buttons all over the helm, and it would have cluttered things up and hard to navigate. So we partnered up with our good folks at Garmin and developed a proprietary system between us and them that we wanted it to be simple, smart, intuitive, and very redundant. So you're flipping through what's there, about 4 pages of displays from turning on lights or actuating the vent, sure shade. All this stuff is on the My Helm application there, right at your fingertips. Also on your Garmin's Active Captain, and it's got, like I said, 4 levels of redundancy, so it's really intuitive. This had to be a useful system to the operator, not to get in the way or hinder fishability or performance. And you still see the 8 buttons down there on the bottom, right beneath the screens, Carrie. And so those are all your ready access stuff you got to have no matter if the screens are on or not. So your horn, your nav lights, your bilge pumps, that sort of thing. So yeah, there you go. And all that stuff is very accessible. It's easy to use. It's hard to see from the screen. I don't know how much our viewers can actually see it, but get on the boat, check it out. We're proud of it. It gives so much more access and serviceability on that boat. So Gary, you're about to get in. I'm going to steal your thunder. We got 2 22-inch screens there from Garmin. We got an optional helm layout with triple 17s. So a lot of screen space, a lot of ways of dividing that up with Garmin's multifunction. You got the Fusion 7.7 there, DSP. We got the Yamaha EX. Look at that. The joystick there is standard, as is your electronic key switch. We also got a key fob with the boat, so you can turn the boat on and off as you approach it or walk away. It takes care of all that stuff that you have to do as a second operator.
I want to tell you, Clubs, I took the helm. As we drove to lunch the other day, I took the helm of this boat. I mean, I've driven boats, but I'm not known to be the captain of a 37-foot, more than 37-foot center console like this. Easy. I mean, this whole entire Helm Master EX makes it easy. I had a total blast. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, don't scratch my boat, Carrie.
Hey, what are you saying? All right, I shouldn't have said I don't know too much about driving. Of course, we have the carbon fiber Edson wheel, which is gorgeous, and the cell phone charger, which you just pop your phone right into. That was really convenient when we unexpectedly ran down to the Keys the other day. The Helm AC, I know nobody can feel this at home, but we are in the Miami heat. I don't even want to know the temperature today, and we feel really cool when we're here behind the helm. So love it. Let's go and check out. Of course, I'm sorry, I left out this seating. This is the seating that obviously so many Regulator fans know about. It has a triple helm station for 3 different people. You have these huge, Clubs, tell us about the Fusion sound system for a minute, because it's serious.
Yeah, so the Fusion system is, we can partner with these folks, and great people. The Fusion, you get the glass screen 770, so you can Bluetooth your phone right there, the charger. You got the subwoofer right there that Carrie's pointing out. There's a myriad speakers, 2 in the T-top, and then all around the perimeter of the boat for excellent sound. And we dial that in with digital sound processing, DSP, and that's standard on the boat. All our Regulators, in fact, have standard DSP. So yeah, there's access to all your house. 4 house batteries right there, Kerry, and battery in the back of the bilge hatch we opened. So 7 batteries on board, enough battery chargers to sustain full load. Everything can be running. You don't have to load manage anything, either AC or DC. So real multi-purpose platform.
I love it. And what's our fuel capacity on this boat? We've got triple 425s, and we've got 500 and something gallons, 507 gallons of fuel capacity.
Yeah, a little better than 507. We're advertising 507. Me and the guys, we actually squeeze a little more. So, yeah, a lot of fuel capacity, good range, good economy, triple 425s, big props, all that. So, yeah, it's a real beast, and it's fun to run as you're finding out down there.
I certainly was. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing, and that is, of course, our taco outriggers. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'm going to have Bobby actually walk up to the forward seating area and have Clubs talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's all storage, all about dry storage. We've got 3 tubs up here. That forward tub under the forward cushion is huge. It's 105 gallons, Kerry, and fans here. And so the other 2 tubs on the side also large. They're all insulated, well lit. They all drain overboard, and you can see the table sitting in the floor, Bobby. That electric pedestal, so you can raise that up or down however you like it. Infinite adjustability there, and of course Bobby's standing right in front of the settee. Also another big tub in there. I think we're about 50 gallons of storage in there. It's insulated, great for cooler. You fit a lot of cold snacks in that tub there. So a lot of room on this.
Well, I want you guys to join me down in the cabin because I snuck down here to show this off. And one of the most special things, now if you look at the cabin, typically we would have all of the seat cushions on or maybe all of the seat cushions off. But we gave you a half and half view for all of our viewers today so that you can see how comfortable this is and how spacious it is and all of the, kind of lifestyle amenities you have going on. But also you have these rod lockers, and these are Clubs. Talk to me just a little bit about these rod lockers.
Gary, so these are all dry storage areas, right? They're carpeted, they're well lit. We set it up to store 4 50 series rods in there. And, again, they're dry. You don't need bilge water in there. And we're pulling the air conditioning return over that area. So if you put in wet rods, wet tackle, it's going to dry itself out. And so up front, like you're pointing out, is huge access, tons of storage, goes underneath. You can get to all those boxes that Bob and I just showed you. So tons of access, clean, painted out white, well lit, nice and bright. So good storage, good service.
That's terrific. And we have the new Chilowich flooring, which is really nice underfoot. Really all weather, it's non-slip, it looks good, dries quickly. We have, of course, this head, which, Bobby's giving you the good view of it on camera, but I just want to show you, I'm a pretty tall girl and I fit in here obviously fine. And there's a lot of headroom here. I mean, a 6'3" guy could stand in here and have no problems at all. So I just really think you packed a lot into this cabin. Of course, we have the galley area, you have your fridge, microwave, storage, sink, and then you have a few more controls here that you need access to. And I just think, again, it's air conditioned and we're super happy now to be down here. But the amount of storage and technology that you packed into this boat, David, you and your team did a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you. That boat just keeps going. We showed it to the folks down at Tampa. Man, it just keeps going and going. It's a lot of effort and a lot of design. So thanks for showing it off with us, Kerry. It's good to see you.
Of course, it's always good to see you. And for those of you watching who may be actually not only Florida, the boat is touring through Florida right now. This is hull number 1. It's touring through Florida, and then it's headed up the coast. So check with your local dealer so you can see if you can hop on board and see this for real. In the meantime, we are going to throw it over to our friends at Yamaha because they were good enough to give us a really in-depth and educational demo of the Yamaha EX system. So I'm going to throw it over to Captain Rye Landry from Yamaha Marine to show us the Helmmaster EX.
I'm here on this beautiful Regulator 28-foot with twin Yamaha F300s and Yamaha's Helmmaster EX full maneuverability system. I'm going to take a few minutes and just walk you through some of the benefits of this system because there's a lot to it and I'm obviously not going to cover them all, just really some of the high points of it. Starting with the DEC remote, or digital electronic control, we now have trim assist, which was part of the original Helmmaster, but it's been greatly improved because now not only can it work in an RPM mode, but it can also be set for GPS speed. So that becomes a lot more usable because it no longer will trim the motors based on RPM, but actually the boat's attitude and running angle in the water. So if I want the motors to be trimmed at 40%, say 32 miles an hour, I can set that up, and sure enough, it doesn't matter how much RPM it takes me to get there based on the weight of the boat. It depends on the actual speed of the boat itself. That way the motors won't accidentally trim too high when I'm still not going my target speed. Now, also part of the DEC remote is speed control, and this is a huge benefit because it not only can be based in RPM or speed based, but it gives you a lot of control over the speed of your boat, especially at slower trolling speeds. So if we put this into gear, we're going to press down on the speed control button to activate it. I now have 10 steps up or down, and in this case we have the boat set up in speed based. So if I want to go 1.25 miles per hour, the boat's going to automatically start bump shifting itself to try to get me to that target speed. And as you can see, it's now shifted into neutral. Our current speed is 2 miles an hour, and once again it goes back into neutral, and it's going to give us little short bursts of power and slowly let us get down to that speed based on the conditions. If I want to go faster, obviously I can press the button up. If I want to go slower, I can press the button down. One nice thing about speed control, it also works while I'm in reverse. So that means you can use it to back troll in certain conditions. Now, you also have adjustable detent and friction for the levers for a customer that may want a firmer lever feel than the standard DEC feel. And you have, of course, your trim all and your individual trim buttons. Now, something else that's built in here is neutral hold. And this is just a good thing to point out to your customers, just from a standpoint of just being safe while they're out on the water. If they're not actively at the helm and in control of their boat, such as when they're tied up at a dock and they happen to have their motors running, letting them warm up in the morning, press neutral hold. That way, if when they're loading the boat, or if there's kids around, or anything else that possibly could happen, a fishing pole, if you accidentally bump the levers, it's going to keep them locked into neutral. And of course, if you need a little extra charging power, you can use that to rev your motors up to recharge your batteries while you're out in the water. To deactivate it, simply put it back into neutral, press neutral hold to deactivate it, and once again you have full control over the motor. Now, moving on to the digital electric steering, or DES. This is integrated on the F250 and F300 and the XTO, and it also works with the bolt-on version that works with the F150 all the way up to the 300. The biggest benefit of this is the variable lock-to-lock steering. Now, traditional hydraulic steering, you're looking at 7 to 8 turns. That can get kind of tiring when you're out in the water, not to mention how slow. 4 turns lock-to-lock. Now, as this boat increases in speed, that lock-to-lock is going to change, and I can get it all the way to 9 turns lock-to-lock. So at slow speeds, I can have a very fast wheel, such as maneuvering around in a marina, and then once I'm out underway and I'm under speed, I can get this to go up to 6 or 7 turns, so I still have a nice comfortable wheel that I can control easily. Additionally, I have adjustable steering friction, regular or heavy settings. So if the conditions are getting a little choppy and it's getting a little bouncy, I can actually turn on the heavy setting, which is going to give me a much firmer wheel and give me the ability to do a better job of hanging onto it without changing the control of the boat. Now, when we come over to the Autopilot panel and the MFDs, we got heading hold, course hold, track point, and pattern steer. Heading hold is going to hold my boat's heading. Course hold is going to establish a course and maintain that course. The boat will change its heading to maintain that depending on conditions. And then track point, and that's your traditional autopilot setting. So if I go here into my MFD and I set an endpoint, and I'm going to hit auto guidance, and we're going to start my navigation. I'm going to put it into gear. We're going to spin ourselves around here to get us facing the right direction. Then once I'm actually up underway, I can press track point and I can actually let the boat steer me there. Now, we have something that's really a neat feature that's part of this, and it's called waypoint arrival. So that as I start to approach my final waypoint, I can have it automatically go into one of my set point modes. it's going to naturally start to decelerate as we start to approach that final waypoint. Once we get to that final waypoint, it's going to shift itself into neutral and tell me to return the throttles to the neutral position, at which point then it will engage that pre-selected set point mode. Really, really a handy feature. Now, pattern steer, if I want to use pattern steer, I can do a zigzag or I can do a actual spiral system. Great for trolling or actually doing searches if you want, like looking for fish on the bottom, new fishing spots, things like that. Now, when we start talking about the joystick and the set point modes, it's all about boat control. And if you think about this as controlling rudder angle and my throttle's controlling thrust, my joystick controls boat movement. So if we activate joystick, I now have 5 different power levels. I can control that with the plus or the minus, and I can do that on the fly and changing them up or down as I need to. Now, as I start to move the boat, think of the joystick with the front of the joystick being the bow of the boat and the rear of the joystick being the stern of the boat. If I need to pivot the boat, obviously I can twist it, allow it to pivot the boat. If I need to steer the boat backwards, I can actually go backwards, and then I can actually steer the boat as I need to. And remember, when you're using the joystick, it's not about being aggressive. That's one of the nice things about the joystick, is the finesse you can have with the boat compared to the throttle and the wheel. Now remember, throttle angle and thrust, boat movement. So where do I want the boat to go and how do I want it to move? Don't overpower the boat using the joystick. Small, slight movements are going to do a much better job of getting the boat where you want it without getting yourself into too much of a commotion. Now, using the set point features such as fish point, which will keep the boat's position but not its heading, I can set that for bow or stern. Drift point, which will actually hold the boat's heading but not its position, so I can drift naturally along a shoreline. And then stay point, which will hold both the position and the heading. All great modes, all have a lot of different things. And in addition, drift point now has what's called drift point track, where I can actually set my heading, I can drift, but then I can use low power fore and aft movement to pull the boat forward and aft along my drift. All these features make out a huge suite of things that a fisherman can use to do whatever they need to do to get their target fish.
We always love to hear from our friends at Yamaha. Captain Rye is phenomenal. And of course, we're on board another boat with Yamaha Helm Master EX, the Regulator 34. I am thrilled to be joined by Regulator South Florida dealer for Miami and the Keys, Mike DeFrancisco. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, Carrie, how are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
to Coconut Grove.
Yeah, I like how we act like we haven't been together for the last few days. We've been running boats all over the place.
Day and night.
And fun, right?
It was a great time.
We've had a great
avoided
time.
the rain. We got great shots.
It's true.
You picked the best weather.
We
Look
did.
at it here. This is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. And a huge thanks to you and to our friends at Grove Harbor Marina for hosting us. But let's get into the good stuff. This is my actual, I don't know. I shouldn't say favorite after we see the 37, but this might still be my favorite. Let's talk about what we're seeing up here.
It's just a great, fun boat. I mean, with 11-foot beam, we have a ton of room up here. We have a Lumar windlass system. We have all this huge storage. We have this giant, all the storage on this boat up front is insulated and lit. That's the ladder for our starboard
Boarding and dive door. Yeah, I love that door.
We have integrated backrests for your comfort.
This is very comfy. And we didn't show this, but you can just flip it right up in an instant.
It's really easy.
Yep, there we go. I love it. And overhead, Mike.
Speed chargers on both sides for the kids.
Oh, that's right. We've got the cup holders. We've got the chargers. We've got the grab rails, which are really nice when you've got the kids up front. And also overhead, we have this forward sunshade. And I know none of you can feel all of the degrees that are pumping on us.
It is hot. This drops the temperature 10 degrees having this sunshade up here.
It is.
It's
so
just
nice.
amazing.
I love it. And, you know, you really have so much space up here. You have the casting platform.
You have a
Very
great
solid.
place to throw a cast net, which you can also do from the wide side decks. You see the sunshade. We've got rod holders all the way front to back.
And now we have, obviously, our great forward seat, which you see on every Regulator. And Bobby is going to show off this awesome wraparound windshield as we join him over at the Helm, your favorite and mine, You can see this.
We have this gorgeous Lumar integrated windshield system, which protects our Garmin electronics, our new Fusion stereo.
It also has a vent, I just want to point out.
Power vent, 2-speed wiper with washer.
Oh.
We've got Taco 390 Outriggers with 20-foot carbon fiber poles. I should tell you, this boat really rocks now that we have these Fusion speakers.
But it doesn't rock with the Seakeeper 2.
It does not, because we are
It rocks.
Seakeeper equipped. There is no rock and roll, which
There's
we've
rock,
definitely
no roll.
proven over the last 2.5 days of shooting offshore. This is a comfortable boat. If your knees are shot or you have a family member that wants stability and doesn't like getting seasick, this is your boat. All the 34s we're bringing in with Seakeeper 2. And it actually does what it's supposed to do. It's a wonderful system, Carrie.
It's phenomenal. And we've got the carbon fiber Edson, of course, the Yamaha Helm Master EX.
New Helm Master Autopilot.
It's really very comfortable. Again, our AC. I mean, I'm loving the AC.
We should also point out the cabin's air conditioned in this boat. It'll sleep too, very comfortably. We've done it. And then the air conditioned helm on a day like today is wonderful.
I love it. Let's head to the tackle center.
Feel it, but we can.
That's true. That's very true. So this is the 3X Deluxe Tackle Center. And you can also get the 3X Med seating on this boat, but we actually like it fishy, right?
This is fishy, and this is full fishy. So really a great bait prep station. We have just tons of tackle storage. You could put 2 lures in here. They get a little shorter because of the Seakeeper. If you don't order the Seakeeper, they're twice as long, the drawers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love to see that.
And then a secondary, for us, this could also be our drink station, cocktail mixing area as well.
Yep, it goes both ways every time, right?
Foremost, it is bait prep.
I did that. All right. And then if we get into our in-deck fish boxes, right? We here might come around so Bobby can see it on the camera. I'll pull it up. There we go. So we have an in-deck fish box here.
Which is colossal.
It is colossal. It actually is colossal.
Guys want to be able to take a fish and just slide it with their foot into the fish.
Oh, that makes sense.
You can do that here.
Yeah.
Macerated, everything goes overboard. We do have a refrigerated fish box here as well.
And the live well.
Live well over here.
What do we got going on in this one? Go ahead.
In here, our lazarette area, we have all our pumps, all of our filters. The
Yeti.
The Yetis come out very easily, and we can jump down in there and access everything, perform maintenance down there. It becomes a big space once we get the Yetis out.
Yep, I love it. And then, of course, we have our flip-down transom seat, which we see on every regulator.
Every regulator.
At least the offshore every regulator. And then this. You were mentioning this before.
So, dive door, starboard side. On most of our larger boats, opens in and magnetically locks. The ladder from up front goes in here.
You've got an extra swim ladder.
We've got an extra swim ladder.
Because we have one also on the Armstrong bracket.
Safety ladder on the starboard side back here as well.
That's phenomenal. And I mean, we didn't mean to leave the best for last, but the power. Talk to me about the power on this boat.
Yamaha 300s. We have the new electric steering system. We have the same sculpted engines that you see with the 4 1/4.
Oh yeah, this is a new look for
This is a totally new look. So as Bobby comes around, you're going to see the back end of these engines or the front look just like the 4 1/4. We do have the new electric steering system that works great with the new Yamaha EX system.
I love
This is just a perfect power package. We can run this boat north of 60. It cruises economically at 40.
Oh, but that's nice.
It's like 1.14 at 40.
We were going 42 through all that chop, so I mean that's pretty good actually.
We're getting great economy while we're running fast and hard.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for showing us this boat and for having us. We are going to go to a quick commercial, and we're going to come back with one of our regulator owners on board his 41. So we'll see you back here in just a minute.
flamingo dance, Robbie. Yeah.
We are with Ted Balistreri, one of our Regulator owners, on board his Regulator 41. Thanks for coming over, Ted.
Yeah, no problem.
You're just 10 minutes from here?
Yep, Miami Beach.
Gave you a little excuse to leave for a few minutes, be on board the boat?
Never need an excuse to go on the boat.
That's what I love to hear. So you've had this boat for about 2 years, which has been kind of a funny 2 years. You couldn't spend 1 year using it much, but now you're back on board, and I hear you went down to the Bahamas?
Yeah, we went there last week. Great trip. Did a quickie, couple days, and it was first day was pretty rough. I took my dad. He's 86, and he's really tough. I got to tell you. I mean, we were on that boat from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9:30 at night, and it was rough out. And we hit Bimini and the tuna grounds, and my dad we had a great time. He liked the boat. He liked the way it rode. Didn't really like coming back in the dark, but
You had the equipment to get you there.
We did.
What, you just didn't want to give up on the fishing?
No, it was probably about an hour away from Bimini, and the tuna hit late in the day, so it just happened to be getting dark when we left. And my dad's concern was who was driving the boat, and that was we got back. It worked out.
That's great. That's a great run. How long did it take you from here?
It doesn't take long to get to Bimini. It's only 50 miles off Miami. So.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, it just, hour and 20 minutes, hour and 15.
Yeah, I've never done that run. The longest runs I've done, usually we play in the Keys with Mike when we're here. And this time we started here, but we still ended up in the Keys. It was a good run. So what would you say is your favorite thing about your Regulator?
Well, by far, it's the ride of the boat. I mean, it's the hull. They've got that figured out, I've had several boats, and this is probably the best riding boat I've had so far. And
oh, we love to hear that. We love to hear that, especially at well over 41 feet with the bracketed engines, right? Well, we really appreciate it, Ted. It's a pleasure to be on board your boat. It's been a few years since I'm on board a 41, so I'm happy to be back. And we just appreciate you being with us to talk a little bit about your Regulator.
All good.
Okay, good. Well, that does it for us today on the Boat Show Network. We cannot thank Regulator Marine enough for taking us on board all of their boats. We will see you soon with Regulator again with a few new tricks up our sleeve. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time.